you know,
What do you find is the most difficult sport to pick a side on?
NFL football.
Really? Has it gotten worse in your mind? Because to
No,
me,
always the
oh,
hardest. Always
okay.
the hardest.
For me, with the decision making, the 2 points, the kicking, the way that it is, I like the competitive balance. Now, this year in particular, I was like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I should have followed your advice more often, but I feel like it's gotten worse. But you think NFL football has always been the most difficult to bet?
Always has, always will. Always has, always will.
Why?
So little games. Like if you're betting NBA and college basketball, you got 6 months. You got 5 to 20 games a night for 6 months. Baseball, you got 6 months of 8 to 15 games a night. Hockey, 6 months. You got 10 games a night. NFL, you got Sunday, you got one game Monday, one game Thursday. That's it. So you're extremely limited in the commodities that you could sell, first of all, and everyone wants to bet the favorite, and they make the lines so difficult to beat because they make the underdogs the play um, almost every game. Like if you bet the underdog straight up right now, you'll grind at about 57%, 56%.
So isn't it a sound strategy to do that? I mean, you take that
Yeah, but
51.
but yeah, but people will never do that because that means, let's say if you're going to hit 56%, that
Right.
means 44%. You're going to be on the wrong side, having the inferior team against the superior team, and you're going to get your dick kicked.
Right.
You're going to
But
get.
if the math
I
says
I don't
57%,
care. You still. How about for 3 months straight? You got to watch every game you bet lose 44-0.
right. So
You
then
know.
what's the strategy? Just try to pick them perfectly and say, "Well, yeah, I like the underdogs in
Well,
general, but not this time."
gambling is for the rich to have fun and lose money. So let's not, bullshit ourselves. Let's not be, suckers. No one wins. People who win are liars in addition to losers. That's how that works. Gambling, no one wins. Like, no one wins. Like Mike Francesa had a great record, and then eventually, what is he? Come on. No one wins. Nobody wins. If people could win, they would have rules that head coaches or personnel or, directors or scouting couldn't bet because they know they have the inside information and there's no rule, they still can't bet. Can't fix a game. You can't tell people to bet for you. But if you know something and you're a scout, you could go and bet. You know what I mean? So no one wins. So gambling should be in its proper perspective. How it works is this: it's pretty simple. It kicks your ass. You think you're going to beat it. It kicks your ass again. You think you're going to beat it. And then it brings you to your knees. So then you have to make an existential decision. Am I going to lose? Am I going to ruin my life gambling, or am I going to stop? So that's normally when people stop and they don't ever start again. Now people are getting involved with these player props and with all the props and with all the fantasy that you can bet $1 and win thousands, hundreds of thousands,
Right.
millions, hundreds. So that's a different genre. It's a different area now. So per se, like the United States now is almost like Europe, where gambling's been legal for 200 years. Sports gambling's been legal for 200 years. Not a big deal. You bet on soccer, you bet on everything. You bet on tennis, you bet whatever, golf, whatever. You bet on sports. But you get your ass kicked, you have to stop, and then you gamble for fun. As long as people gamble for fun, fine. You can't gamble to win money. Now, my clients and certain kids that are in their 20s pay me the $69 on the Barstool special I run during the year for the show. After the show, I run for, let's say, the small packages, because that's the only thing that really we're talking about, the $55, the $69, the $99. And I bring people in. And then my mainstay clients that have been with me since the late 80s, they're still paying for the $1,000 a week, 2,000 a week, 3,000 a week, because they have FU money and they're not betting over the heads. Like Dave Portnoy's betting 50,000 a game. Big Cat's betting 50,000 a game. PFT's betting 10,000 a game. Biz, Ryan Whitney, they could bet 10,000 a game.
And then, so when somebody is your client, you give them your obviously your expertise, and what's that based off of? Analytics? You talk this through with them, or you just, oh,
No,
here's what I
no,
got.
no, no. Here's what I got. Exactly. They don't dictate. They don't say, "Hey, I want to pick here." So I have a system that has worked since the beginning of time. Against the grain, against the public, late money, and identifying if there's 5 late money moves at like 12 o'clock for the 1 o'clock games, identify which games to use because not all are going to win. 4 and 2 is going to win. But what if you give out the 2 that are, you give out 3 games and you go 1 and 2? So I have a system that combining that works. Now you're going to get embarrassed when I lose because I'm not on the favorite most of the time.
Right.
I'm on the inferior team playing the superior team. So I understand that I could get humiliated if things don't go right, especially on, certain games that the bad teams play bad and the good teams play good, it's over, you know, but overall that wins. And in certain spots, college basketball is my easiest, my best. Um, I can just make you a lot of money.
Wow. God bless. We're gonna have to talk
Yeah,
more often
one,
on this.
but it's one game a week.
You pick your best bet for
Maybe
the week.
maybe 2. That'll happen on a Saturday. Because Saturday, there's so many opportunities. There's so many high quality games that I can see where form will hold, and that could differentiate between, like let's say there's 6 things I look at, right? Which there actually is, right? Certain times teams come up all six of what I differentiate is that characteristic that I'm going to say that's that works for me. Some teams come up 6 for 6 on a Saturday. That's where you have your best. I do have my best shot of winning.
And then you just go, well, yeah, I was gonna say then you just go nuts after you have a great weekend, but you just go nuts all the time, regardless.
Right. Well, I like to pump it. I'm a showman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love
I
it.
accentuate when I win and when I lose, chirping. You don't hear
You ever
shit.
get when you're doing those videos in the streets, you ever get people be like, "Hey, shut up," or "What are you doing?" You
No,
ever
99.9% of people love me. And the
okay.
people who berate me, the people who love me attack them. So I have no worries. I swear it's bananas. I mean, I'm
One
Stefani, you fucking not. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You know.
One more for me, and then I'm gonna have Badabooms because I know he's a big fan of yours. He wants to jump in and
Yes.
ask you a question or two.
Yes.
The travel when you're going to Chicago, you do that.
Every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, 23 weeks, September through January with my wife Sandy. And we party Tuesday. Wednesday we do the show Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday night we party and we go home Thursday. Now, because Barstool owns the 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Fox Sports 1 slot, they have a show, Wake Up Barstool. So I do that every week. I'm in Chicago because it's a live show from Chicago. I do that every week when I'm in for Barstool Sports Advisors. And they also have called me in, like when all the big shots went to California and went to Santa Clara. I filled in 2 hours a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a live show with Big T. And, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was
From
just like
Chicago. So okay.
from
Yeah, that
Chicago. Yeah.
and you don't mind the travel. It's for you just stay in a hotel
No,
right
I
there.
mean, yeah, exactly. They pay for the plane, they pay for the hotel, and the exposure I get is priceless. Like,
Yeah. No, it's great.
priceless.
It's the best show that's
We
out there.
Brock Eward, we interviewed Matt Hasselbeck, we interviewed Rachel Nichols, we interviewed like people like that, and they were like so friendly, and I was able to, I was at 16 Super Bowls myself, but I've watched every minute of every Super Bowl for the last 50 years because you have to, especially in the business I'm in, and I watch every sport, and because of all the TVs, I'm able to watch a very teeny amount of everything every night. No matter what sport it is.
You watch
That's
TV
what
at
it
all,
is.
like shows or movies or anything?
Um, Not really. I don't have
Okay.
time anymore, but I did certain times, The Sopranos, and I watch reruns now of everything. You know, Big Bang Theory. I'm a big Bang Theory guy. I
Okay.
love that. I think that's the best show ever.